Welcome to the Mindset Architect podcast, where it's all about creating the life you want, the business you want, and making a real difference. Join us in unlocking the code to true success. And now your host, Tony Caliendo, Master Coach with Rethink Coaching.
Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, episode number 88. I'm Tony Caliendo, Master Coach here at Rethink Coaching. And as always, I just want to take a minute and thank you for sharing your time with me. Time really is our greatest asset, and the fact that you're willing to share some of yours with me truly does mean a great deal. Today, I want to talk to you about the power that you have that you may not be harnessing in your business and life. I firmly believe, I have evidence to it, I've coached to it, I've done it personally, that you can transform and change your business and your life in as short of a time as 90 days. It is so powerful what you can do in a 90-day time period. And I always say this, right? 90 days is going to happen regardless. So why not make the next 90 days the most important 90 days of your business and your life and shift it to going down the path that you've chosen versus just randomly going down a path and achieving the true goals that you have set for yourself, your business, your life, whatever it is. I know that there's a lot going on right now. I know there is. There's a lot going on economically, politically, socially, every aspect of it. And I think it's more important than ever if you have not fortified the foundation of your business and life, this is truly the time to do it. One of two things is going to happen. Things might get worse. And if you are fortified and focused for the next 90 days, the impact will be less significant. And in fact, you could actually do better than most and certainly do better than what you were doing. Or things could get better. And with the fortification and the changes that you made, you'll do even better in that environment. So there's really not a loss to taking the time to figure out, if I want to get serious about my next 90 days, make a commitment and a change, what does that look like? I've witnessed it personally. I've coached to it. A lot can happen in 90 days. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, in 90 days, you can achieve this massive goal because you only need 90 days. What the 90 days will do is create several wins for you and put you on the trajectory to winning big. And that's really what we all want to do, is to win at what we choose, right? And it's important for us to understand that piece of it, to have a goal and to work towards it. So there's 5 things I'm going to talk to you about today that if you should decide that, hey, I'm going to take the next 90 days because regardless, 90 days is going to happen anyway, and take control over where I'm going to be on day 91, this podcast is for you. So I'm going to talk about 5 things that we must do if we're going to go on this 90-day sprint. So number 1 is obvious, set a goal. And it's more than having a SMART goal. I think we've all heard about this before. You have a SMART goal, specific, measurable, and achievable, realistic, and timely. That's great, but I want you to look at your goals differently. I want you to get so flippin' excited about what your goal is at the end of 90 days that you can barely stand it. And that may be taking that annual goal and chunking it down to a 90-day stretch. It may be taking those 90 days and breaking it down to 30-day sprints, which I love. I've talked about that on several podcasts. I love a good sprint because it has a visible start and end, and it keeps you really focused and on track. You may choose to do a weekly sprint. Whatever it is, goal set differently. Look at that goal as a 90-day, 30-day, 7-day, whatever you want it to be, and get really clear on it. The other part of it is having a vision about what that will do for you when you achieve it. I love setting a 90-day goal with a nice reward for myself at the end of it. And what I like about it is I know exactly what I'm working towards, and I know what I'm going to be able to do when I achieve the goal. And it's something that excites me, not just like, oh, I'll go buy a new shirt or I'll go buy a new pair of shoes. Make it something that's impactful that you've been wanting to do for a while, that you can really feel like you've rewarded yourself and that you can set the vision to get there. If you need it, I'm not a big fan of this. If you need it, you can also set a takeaway at the end of 90 days, where if you don't achieve the goal that you set for yourself in 90 days, you're going to have to give something up or do something different. That's more of a punitive approach, yet for some people that works really, really well. So for an example would be for me, if I didn't achieve the goal, if I had to give up coffee. I know that sounds crazy, but coffee is a huge part of my life. If I knew that at the end of 90 days, I wasn't going to be able to have my coffee and that ritual in my life, that's a big deal. If I knew I had to maybe make a donation to an organization that I didn't exactly love, that would be a big deal. So I'm not a huge fan of punitive, yet some people, it works, the good and then the consequence. All right. So you choose what that would be for you, but really state and be clear on what your 90-day goal is. Make it a stretch, make it to where it makes you a smidge uncomfortable, and set your sights on what your life will be like or your business will be like when you achieve that goal in our short 90-day sprint. Number two, I think this is it's really basic, yet it's really important, is manage your time. I don't believe that any of us as entrepreneurs just intentionally waste our time. Yet I do know at times of uncertainty, it is when we are most likely to get into a place of overwhelm and start to overthink or critically think and think more about what we should be doing than actually taking the action. It happens often anyway, because we're just human beings. Yet during times of uncertainty, during stressful times, during times that we're uncertain, it can happen more often. So managing your time during this 90-day sprint is critical for those reasons. Plus, we only have 90 days. And one of the favorite things I have to say is that the problem is you think you have time, and we don't. If we look at a 90-day, 30-day, 7-day sprint, you don't have endless time. So I love the sprint part. A couple things that I do that has really helped me on my journey to success. Number one is I planned my day out the night before. And I don't just mean looking at like what I'm going to do. I actually have what I'm going to do done and available for me. An example, if one of my goals is to speak to 5 potential new clients, so lead generate every day. If I show up to my desk, my space to do my work, and I just know that I'm going to call 5 people, I still have to figure out who I'm going to call, which is an opportunity for distraction and for us to not do it because we can get in our head about, well, I don't know who I'm going to call. Let me go research. Oh, I don't know if I should call that person or not. We still have to make some decisions. When I say that I plan the activities out the night before, I know that I'm going to speak to 5 people. I know the 5 people that I'm going to speak to. I know their cell phone number. I know their email address, and I know their social media information, because I know that when I call 5 people, that 5 people aren't necessarily going to answer. Yet I'm going to either leave a voicemail and a text, leave a voicemail, a social media post, or direct message. I'm going to do something with them. So if I have all the information, when I show up to my workspace in the morning, I know exactly what I'm doing and exactly how I'm doing it. There's such peace that it gives your brain, and it helps you manage your time more effectively. It takes away all of the excuses. It really helps you know that, hey, the decision was made, and if I just do this, I've got a great chance of success. So that's one thing that I do. The other thing that I do that I love, it's called the Eisenhower matrix, or some people call it the urgency matrix, call it whatever you want. It's a great matrix when we're sitting in a place of overwhelm. And let's say you accomplished what you were going to do for the day, and then it was time to do some other activities, and you just had a lot of things to do. What the Eisenhower matrix does is it separates urgent and non-urgent items, important and non-important. And I just love how basic this makes things. So if you look at it on a quadrant, all right, you've got important, not important. You've got urgent, not urgent. If something is important and urgent, so if I go through the list of things that I must do that day, and I know that it's urgent and important, I just do it now. I take away the guesswork. Well, I'll get to that today. No, I just do it now. That's probably the most important step in this that you can take, is identify that and do it now. If there is something that is urgent yet not important, so it's urgent to happen, not important for me to necessarily do it, then delegate it. Who could I delegate this to? It could be something as simple as, if you don't have a team or you don't have an admin support, it could be, for me, it's urgent to have a clean house, but I don't do it. I've delegated it to an amazing human being that comes and takes care of my home for me. So what is urgent yet not important is simply saying that it needs to get done, just not done by you. Then we have something that's not urgent yet it's important. That's easy. You just schedule a time to do it. So you may say, you know what, that really is important. It's just not urgent. Like, I don't need to do it today. So let me schedule when this week I'm going to get it done. And I schedule it for a different time. And then the ultimate is, if it's not urgent or not important, just delete it. Don't do it. Just make it go away. Because if it's not important and it's not urgent, why is it even on our list? Those 4 things can help you get control of a little bit of chaos or uncertainty or unsure of what to do next in your day pretty quickly. So I love it. The 4 quadrants are urgent, important. You're going to do it now. Urgent, not important. I can delegate it. I can give it to somebody else. They may not do it as great as I would do it. That's an ego statement. Yet they may not be as skilled in the activity as I am, yet they can get it done because it is important. Or I'm sorry, it is urgent. It's just not that important that I do it. So delegate. And then not urgent, yet it's important. I just schedule a time for it to get done. I take it off my plate for the day, or it might do it at the end of the day, or I might do it this week, but I schedule it for a future time. And then ultimately, not important and not urgent, I just delete it. So that's the Eisenhower matrix. You can Google it. There'll be a cute little chart for you to look at. But it is one way that I personally use when I'm sitting in a kind of a muck of a lot of things to do and I'm not sure what to start on first, or I have a lot of things to do and I pick the not important, not urgent, because it's easy. This helps you prioritize what must be done. So that's part of managing your time. Those things are incredibly powerful. So in a 90-day sprint, managing your time is incredibly important. The third thing that I want to talk about is your environment and your space. And so that to me is really, really, really important as well. I have learned in life that my environment is incredibly impactful on everything that I do. It's impactful on my enjoyment in life, my space, my workspace, my home space. I work from home. My home space is important to have it in order, to have it be a reflection of me. And so environment and space are also important for you to look at in a 90-day sprint, 90-day transformation. Train yourself where certain activities are more impactful. So I'm going to share for me, and this may sound crazy, and I've shared it with people that are like, I don't know how you do it. Yet for me, I know for me, when I'm needing to be in a very creative space, I leave my office. My office is really set for focused, strategic activities. This podcast is one of those. Lead generation is one of those. My coaching calls with my clients. Those are very strategic, structured activities that I know when I come into this space, my sign is on behind me and I'm in this chair. I know what activities I'm doing and it has a completely different energy. For me, when I need to get creative, writing a program, contributing to different foundations or different organizations that I'm affiliated with, I go to a coffee shop. And I think it's the energy around me, the people around me that allow me to feel the most creative because I see life happening. I see people contributing. I see people doing things. That is what works for me. as crazy as it may sound, the busiest Starbucks or one of the busy local coffee shops here in Santa Fe that I go to allows me to be creative. So I can control my environment and my space. I think I talked about this in a past podcast. I tend to be a stacker, so I will stack things and go to file them later. Well, my later sometimes is 2 weeks away. And so my workspace, I really do need it to be clutter free. And when it's not, it can be a distraction. So really pay attention to your environment and space. As minor as it may seem, it could be the one thing that could prevent you from achieving this 90-day transformation in your business or your life. So pay attention. It took me a little while to figure out that my most creative moments came when I was in a crowded room, because it just didn't make a whole lot of sense, right? You would think to be creative, you need to be in a quiet space and you need to protect that. It's quite the opposite for me when I'm looking to be creative. Now, I do have on headphones, somewhat noise canceling, and yet I can still hear the buzz of what's going on around me, and that gets me going. So just really pay attention to that element because it is incredibly important. The other thing too that I will do when I do need to be more focused is I do come to my office. It's really my kind of sanctuary for dedicated work. I will say that it isn't always distraction free. And when I really need it to be distraction free, you will see me put on a good old fashioned set of headphones that go over my ears. They're by Bose noise canceling. These are old, yet it's a sign for me, right? It's a ritual. When I put that on, I'm looking to block everything out. And it's also a sign for anybody who might walk into my office or to see me working with those on, is a big sign to not interrupt me. And so there are certain things that I do to control my environment and my space. And you should think about doing the same thing. I can't do the same activities in the same space. As crazy as it sounds, I have a workspace behind me. That is not a virtual background, that's real. But I have another work desk behind me. I do my journaling. I do some different things back there than I do sitting forward facing at my desk, because back there, there's no technology. My laptop is here. My iPad is here. My iPhone is here. Back there, there's no technology. So I would invite you to do an environment audit. What do you need to change in your environment to get the different activities that you need to do done? So where do you do your lead generation? Where do you do your lead follow-up? Where do you do creative work? Where do you do your marketing? Where do you do your rapport building, your client services? Where do those things happen? And where are you the most impactful when you do that? These are all little things that can add up to a big change for you, especially if we're making a 90-day commitment to transform. So environment and space is number 3. Number 4, daily measuring. I said this before, right? The problem is we think we have enough time, or we think we have time and we don't. We have 90 days, 30 days, or 7 days, whatever you choose. But 90 days is the most amount of time you're going to have. And you should be measuring your success daily, not at the end of the week, not at the end of 90 days. At that point, it's too late to course correct. Should really be measuring your success every single day. And when you're focused, you've got the right space, you're doing all of these things, it's easier to measure because you know exactly what you should be doing and you know the time that you have to do it. So I love a daily measurement. I still do it to today. I've talked about this on a previous podcast. I have a win the day checklist that I've created specifically for me. It's different than what you might have for yourself because we do different things to generate sales, to do follow-up, to grow our businesses. For me, I know the non-negotiable critical activities that I must do every single day to win. And so I have a daily checklist. And when I first started doing it, I would look at it in the morning. I would do a check-in at noon before I would go to lunch or take a break to see where I was. Was I winning the day or not? And then at the end of the day, I visited it again. So daily measurement is really important on this journey to transform yourself, your life, your career in 90 days. And then the last thing is really don't ignore the feedback. We've had this conversation before. I can't stress it enough. when you're doing a transformational sprint in 90 days, you really need to pay attention to the feedback. What worked? What didn't work? How was my mindset? Am I connected emotionally to my goal? Does it still motivate me? Am I still excited about it? And if you're not, it might be because you've fallen behind in goal. But if you were able to achieve it, does it still excite you? The other part of this would be looking at that if this is your jam, and it's not everybody's, it's not mine. If you were looking at what you would have to give up if you didn't hit the goal, you would also want to be looking at that feedback, like really letting yourself know that, hey, if I don't do this, then that goes away. It could be a vacation, right? It could be a service that you partake in often, massage, manicure, pedicure, whatever it is, going to the car wash versus you washing your car yourself, whatever it is, there could be some punitive action. You want to take the feedback on that daily as well. Really look at the actions you took or didn't take. And again, assess your environment. So the 5 things for you to consider if you're thinking about joining us on a 90-day sprint. And I would really, really encourage you to consider this, because I do believe we're in a time right now where there's abundant distraction and abundant uncertainty and confusion. This is when we hunker down and we stay laser focused on what we know we need to do to get to the other side. A lot's going to change in 90 days. A lot will change in 90 days. A lot changes every day right now, but a lot is going to change in 90 days. The cool thing is you get to choose where you're going to pop out on the other side. Are you going to pop out stagnant? Are you going to pop out behind? Or are you going to be in control in building your business and your life the way that you want to build it, regardless of what is happening externally? This is my true desire for all of you, is to transform. And it might be a small transformation or it could be a big transformation. But set a goal to transform your business or your life in the next 90 days. And then for you to be able to celebrate, send me a note. This is what I did. This is what I accomplished. This is what I rewarded myself with. That to me is the ultimate. So number one thing, get clear on your goals, have a vision, know what you're going to do or what you're going to feel or experience at the end of 90 days when you have achieved that goal. Really create that vision and lean into it daily. You might do a 90-day vision board. That might help you out. You might need to visit that every day, but really live into the space as if the goal has happened and hold that space for yourself. That's that 90-day vision. Number 2, manage your time, right? So it's really important for us to manage our time. You could plan your activity the night before and have it all outlined for you with names, numbers, exactly what you're going to do. So you just have to show up and you know exactly what to do. Or you could use the Eisenhower matrix if you're in a place of overwhelm. Examine where those activities that you believe you need to do are in those 4 quadrants and execute those accordingly. So that is a very powerful quadrant to use. Urgent and important is number 1. Just do it now. Urgent and not important is the delegate, right? So just kind of keep an eye on those things that will help you out with managing your time, especially if we're in a 90-day sprint. Number 3, assess your environment in your space. Really important. Where do you operate the best? Identify those spaces. I know, I learned this a long time ago. This seat that I'm sitting in cannot be the space I do every one of the activities that I need to do. I need to pick different places to do it. So do a space audit, do an environment audit, and get clear on that. Number 4, daily measure. Just have a get real, get right conversation with yourself and measure your progress every single day, because every day in a 90-day sprint that we waste or we don't show up at 100% has a bigger impact than if we think we've got 365 days. And then lastly, feedback. Really just do an assessment of what worked, what didn't work. Was your environment right? Were they the right actions? Are you still connected emotionally to your goal? Where's your mindset? Those 5 things get attention to right now. If you're going to take a 90-day sprint, give yourself 3 to 5 days to prepare for it. Go through these 5 action steps to set yourself up for success. I promise you, if you do this, you will not recognize your business or yourself in 90 days. you will be living and doing exactly what you've wanted to do for a long time. This just gives you the lane and the discipline to do it in. And it really is a higher accountability position to put yourself in. 90-day sprint, break it down to a 30-day or a 7-day, whatever works for you, make it happen. I am encouraging everyone in my private personal coaching practice that we take a look at these 5 things and just make sure that we have focused in on those, because these are the 5 things that will carry us through, that regardless of what's going on externally, we take control. And that is the best gift I can give to anybody, is you take control back of the business that you want to have and you want to do. As always, if you have any questions about this or anything else, reach out to me. Tony@rethinkcoaching.com is my email. You can find me on all of the social outlets, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, or you can Google me and get my information there. You can find me on the website, rethinkcoaching.com, where you can fill out a quick little box of information with your name, email, cell phone, and comments. That comes directly to me, and I will book a 1-hour strategy session with you at no cost, whether it's about the 90-day sprint or anything else that's going on in your world that you need help with. Please do not stay stuck or unclear on your own. Just reach out and we're happy to help you out. Go make it an amazing 7 days and think about what you want your 90-day sprint to be. I truly, truly, truly believe from the bottom of my heart, this is the one thing that you can do that would make an impact given our current circumstances and come out the other side shining. Talk to you soon. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you must come check out the Mindset Architect Group Coaching Program. It's our monthly program where we explore the power of your mindset, help you identify what you truly want in business and life, and then help you reach those goals. Come check us out at rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. That's rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. We'll see you there.